Okay, great. So to demonstrate the tech sales roles, which I've titled Tech Sales Roles 101, I'm going to break it into three categories, right? These are broad. They don't apply to every customer, but this is generally how the structure will look like, right? So we'll have pre-sales, sales, and post-sales, right? With the pre-sales, it's called pre-sales because they demonstrate the product to the client before the product is sold. So you find some job roles will call them sales engineers, some sales solutions consultants, just depending on the company. But they demonstrate the product and they don't actually have a sales number or a sales target to sell to the customer. They come in conjunction with the account exec and the sales team to sort of demonstrate the product to the customer. So sales, these are more or less direct sellers, but it differs a little bit, and I'll explain why. So business development or sales development, where I am at the moment, you call them biz or sales development reps, depending on the company or depending on the level or the specialism. It's, it's the prospecting aspect. So finding the client, finding them at the right time, consulting them on, where they are, what problems they want to solve, setting up the appointments for the account exec, who's next in the process, and depending on the organization, that process may involve setting up, qualifying the customer, and then passing on and setting what we call discovery calls. But in some organizations, it's simply just a matter of setting the meeting with the client and setting it up for the account exec. So the complexities, they vary. The ISDR, OSDR just depends on the specialism you are in the company. So as an ISDR, meaning inbound sales development rep, you are dealing with inbound inquiries only. So leads that are generated by marketing to come into the organization, you're simply chasing up those kind of leads. OSDR means you're simply following on the outbound, so simply clearly outbound. You don't deal with any inbound. You're clearly hunting for business for the business, essentially. So these are the hunters. You go out and look for the business. The account exec, AE, account executive, they close the business. Okay, so these are the sales negotiators for the company. They'll prepare the contract, send the contract to the client, do the negotiations along with the pre-sales, get in the demo, demonstrate the product, sell and close the deal. And they also have their commission structure and the number that they have to hit. Same with the BDRs, but it's slightly different in the manner that the BDRs are not actually selling, but they do also have they do have a number and a target for it could be meetings, it could be phone calls, it could be a variety of things depending on the company as well. Post sales, they do not sell all the time, but account managers may have what we call a retention number, so amount of clients that they have to retain for the business. So the account manager essentially is responsible for cross-selling and upselling, but also keeping the client with the business every time it's time for renewals. Different organizations will have different names, but broadly they are called account managers. Some may call them client executives. It just depends on the company. Then you have customer sales managers, and CSMs essentially are the support for the customer. They make sure that the customer is using the product. They show the customer the elements of the product that they may not actually know about, and make sure that there's a good customer experience for the customer. So CSMs make sure that that the customer receives a great service. They're using the product. They're using all aspects of the product or service, and make sure that the client is happy. So that when it comes to renewals, the account manager has an easier job in terms of getting the client to stay, buy more products, and essentially stay with the business. So these roles are not set in stone. They differ and they vary with different companies, but this is essentially the structure that you can expect in tech sales.